wisdom teeth. Just the name alone sounds impressive. Like these teeth are supposed to unlock some ancient knowledge or mark a major milestone in life. In reality, for most people, wisdom teeth are associated with pain, swelling, ice packs, and a dentist explaining why they need to come out. So where did this lofty name even come from? Why are they called wisdom teeth? And what made people connect dental discomfort with maturity and insight? To answer that, we have to go back long before dental clinics, x-rays, and anesthesia, back to a time when growing extra teeth actually made sense. Right here on History of Simple Things. Wisdom teeth are the third and final set of molars to develop, usually appearing sometime between the late teenage years and the mid-20s. Unlike your other teeth, which show up in childhood when life is mostly about learning how to tie your shoes and not eat crayons, wisdom teeth arrive during early adulthood. Historically, this stage of life was seen as the transition into maturity, when people were expected to take on adult responsibilities, make decisions, and supposedly possess wisdom. Ancient cultures noticed this timing and made a simple association. These teeth appeared when a person was no longer a child. That alone was enough to earn them a name tied to wisdom, even if the actual experience of growing them was anything but enlightening. To really understand why wisdom teeth existed in the first place, we need to look at how our ancestors lived and ate. Early humans had much tougher diets than we do today. Raw vegetables, roots, nuts, uncooked grains, and meat that wasn't exactly tender. Chewing all of that required strong jaws and plenty of grinding power. As a result, human jaws used to be larger, and there was plenty of room for an extra set of molars. Wisdom teeth weren't problematic back then. They were useful tools that helped break down hard, fibrous foods. In fact, losing teeth early in life was common, so having backup molars arrive later was actually an advantage, not a curse. The name wisdom teeth comes from translation rather than anatomy. In Latin, they were called dentae sapientiae, meaning teeth of wisdom. Similar terms appear across languages. French calls them dents de sagesse, and in many cultures, the name reflects maturity rather than intelligence. The idea wasn't that these teeth made you wise, but that they showed up during a time when society expected wisdom from you. If your wisdom teeth erupted, you were no longer a child. You were old enough to work, marry, fight wars, or make life-altering decisions, often all at once. Here's where things start to go wrong. Over thousands of years, human diets softened dramatically. Cooking food, using tools, and eventually processing food reduced the need for large jaws and powerful chewing muscles. As a result, human jaws gradually became smaller. But wisdom teeth didn't get the message. We're left with the same number of teeth our ancestors had, but less space to fit them. That's why wisdom teeth today often come in crooked, get stuck under the gums, or push against other teeth. What was once a helpful evolutionary feature has become a biological inconvenience. Because modern jaws are smaller, wisdom teeth frequently become impacted, meaning they don't fully emerge or grow in at the wrong angle. This can cause pain, infections, crowding, and even damage to nearby teeth. Dentists often recommend removing them before they cause serious problems, which is why wisdom tooth extraction has become something of a rite of passage. Ironically, the teeth associated with adulthood often require parental involvement, time off work or school, and a temporary diet of soup and mashed potatoes. Despite their bad reputation, wisdom teeth aren't universally problematic. Some people have jaws large enough to accommodate them just fine, and others never develop wisdom teeth at all. In fact, the absence of wisdom teeth is becoming more common, which suggests that human evolution may still be slowly phasing them out. For now, though, they remain a strange leftover from our past, sometimes useful, often painful, and almost always misunderstood. So why are they called wisdom teeth? Not because they make you smarter, and definitely not because they feel wise. They're named for timing, tradition, and the way ancient cultures viewed adulthood. The name stuck because it captured a moment in life when people were expected to have learned enough from the world to be considered grown. Even though modern dentistry has turned wisdom teeth into something we often remove rather than celebrate, their name remains a small linguistic fossil, an echo of how our ancestors understood age, maturity, and the human body. In the end, wisdom teeth are a perfect example of how history, biology, and language collide in unexpected ways. They're evolutionary leftovers with a name that sounds noble, even though the experience of having them is often anything but. Long ago, these late-arriving molars were genuinely useful, helping our ancestors chew tough foods at a time in life when people were considered fully grown. Over time, our diets changed, our jaws shrank, and wisdom teeth slowly lost their purpose. But the name stuck, preserving an old idea of what adulthood and maturity once meant. So when people talk about wisdom teeth today, they're really talking about a small piece of human history still living in our mouths. They don't grant wisdom, and they rarely arrive without complications, but they do tell a story about where we came from and how our bodies haven't quite caught up with modern life. In that way, wisdom teeth aren't just dental inconveniences. They're reminders that evolution moves slowly, language lasts a long time, and even the most annoying parts of our bodies can have surprisingly meaningful origins. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.